And moving on to next story around the Xbox Hall of Fame. And I want you to take this away, Swinny, but I'm going to get really frustrated at you. This is going to be like the I'm getting frustrated at you episode.
Yeah.
So
And this one,
take it away.
this one, I'll say, I think it's pretty clear why I not. Anyway,
Go on.
To celebrate the launch of the new next-gen Xbox consoles, Xbox has announced the Xbox Hall of Fame, which is a competition for basically gamer score success in specifically Xbox One games. So it's almost a celebration of the Xbox One as much as the next gen.
Is that right? Because I think technically they said it's in the Xbox One's lifespan. I don't think they actually said it's the Xbox One games. I'm pretty sure because I saw some debate about that.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
let me check it while you're going over it. Sorry,
Yeah, that's the way that I read it. Is that it's only applicable to Xbox One titles. So basically, gamers can register to compete across 8 different categories. So we've got some categories that are based on getting most achievements in the lifetime of the Xbox One through till October 19th. Same with gamer score. There's also all of these are based on region as well. So basically, they'll have a lot of people. Not every region is, I'd say, applicable for this. I think it's US, Canada, Brazil, Mexico, France, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Poland, and Sweden. So you have winners in each region, which is great. And there's also some specific categories relating to Game Pass. So, playing the most Xbox Game Pass titles in your region, which is stupid. I'll get to that in a second. And some specific things for Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 4, and State of Decay 2. So, anything that brings more light to the amount of effort that, the achievement community puts into, playing their games, is great. So I'm not going to, have a go at the idea of this. But for a lot of this, unfortunately, a lot of these categories are already decided. And True Achievements, which is a site, that is literally the site I visit every day about this because we talked about I'm an achievement hunter or achievement whore, however you like to say it. They've already built custom leaderboards that track a lot of this stuff by region. So within the 2 days, they already had all this stuff set up for everyone. And the battle's only between a couple of people in most regions at this point because
who are on the edge.
It's more like the people do this stuff without a competition. So they they put the most time in. It's ridiculous. And to Xbox's credit, seems like they've given a lot of honorary inductions to a lot of these big name players like Smirnov, Stallion83 that already have ridiculous game scores anyway. That's obviously also a PR thing because those players actually, have decent followers and things like that as well. Almost, never thought of this, but they're almost like an achievement influencer. It's kind of funny. It's technically probably the case. And I will say there are also random prize draws. So the reason why, so when you told me about this, Intergot, the reason why I said, what's the point for me, is because I already know that the way that I play games for achievements is completely the opposite of what this competition is tracking and rewarding. So I play RPGs, which are generally, with the exception of some games, that's a long tail process. I enjoy playing games and working on RPGs and getting RPGs there, but a lot of these RPGs take well over 100 hours to complete sometimes in excess of 300 hours. Sometimes, maybe on average, they're 50 hours. So suddenly when you start saying, earn the most gamer score, earn the most achievements, well, that's ridiculous for someone playing these long games because, you'd have to literally just play 24/7, and the thing as well is that, and I think we mentioned it at some point in previous episodes, there's a whole bunch of just trashy games out there that you can complete within an hour and get 1,000 gamer score. And that has just become so much more prominent since ID at Xbox became a thing, so these indie publishers could self-publish. And so now you've, the achievement community in True Achievements is already all over this by just basically saying, well, that's all I think it's Ratalaika is the publisher that makes all those easy ones. It's like, well, that suddenly they're going to get a huge amount of sales, so people are just going to buy all them, and they're just going to just stack them all up. So it doesn't make sense for me to really be part of this because, and honestly, sorry, the one thing I was going to say about the Game Pass ruler, played the most Game Pass titles. Like, what does that involve? Just downloading each title and just launching it. Like,
I think
people are just going to max out. Like, you're going to have people the same amount because everyone's just going to download the same amount of games. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that one's the weirdest one. And now, look, I want to circle back on why you have to enter this. You don't have a choice. But I will go on to that one because that one was the weirdest to me. And I've read through the terms and conditions while you was talking. It's just the Xbox One, so it's like engaging in gameplay on the Xbox Live on the Xbox.
Yeah, so
One.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
So Xbox 360 would count, like the games. It's just playing them on the Xbox One, and in the lifetime of the Xbox One.
No, I'm not. Does it specifically say backwards compatible titles do? Is that count?
It does. It doesn't like it's vague on that. It's just talking about gamer score and achievements in the lifetime of the Xbox One.
Because the easiest way to track this from them would probably just be to say, well, is the game on native on an Xbox One? Yes, that counts.
Look, I haven't
because with the 360 backwards compatibility, it launches like a fake 360 interface in the whole thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't count them.
I don't think that they could exclude it because there's nothing in here that specifically says it has to be an Xbox One game. It's just talking about the lifespan and then playing it on Xbox One. And if anything, if I lost because of this, I would challenge it because it doesn't actually specifically prohibit it. It just talks about gamer score and achievements, both of which you can get from Xbox or OG Xbox 360 games as well. So I would definitely count that as the scope based on the T's and C's.
So I'm just reading. So True Achievements has a very close relationship with Microsoft. I'm just reading. So it seems like that is the case. So achievements only count if they're earned on Xbox One. So in their leaderboards, they've only included Xbox One games and the backwards compatible 360.
Yeah, that's how I read the T's and C's. So yeah, the one that I thought was the strangest was the most Xbox Game Pass titles played. Because surely this is going to be a bunch of people that are all equal on this one, and they'll just have to randomly pick one person.
Well, yes and no. I said that before, but I've had another thought about that. It's because it's essentially, they say from November 2013, like Game Pass. Yeah. I don't think it goes back that far, but maybe.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe time's weird these days. That's all I know. But there's a lot of people
go back to 2013, does it? Surely not.
I mean, it's been around for a while, but maybe not that. That does surprise me if it is.
No, 2017 it launched.
2017. Okay, so you've got a lot of people like nobody would have expected that to be a thing back then. So I guess if people played a whole bunch of games prior to this announcement from from Game Pass, and a lot of those things have left. Then yeah. So that's definitely not going to be the case because you could have downloaded every single Game Pass game when it first came out, and a lot of those games aren't in Game Pass anymore. You know?
No, but that's what I'm saying. There would definitely be a bunch of people that have played. So okay, there are a lot of odd people out there. We both agree, right? Yeah. I remember when I had PlayStation Plus, every single time a game came out, I would download it and launch it and play it a little bit. Like every single game, no matter how good or bad it was. So, you know, and I'm not even that crazy of a gamer. Like, there's definitely people out there who would have, like, downloaded, launched every single Game Pass game that's been released in their region.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be like one person. It wouldn't be one person. It'd be, I don't know what the number is, but it feels gut feel. It'd be dozens of people that have launched every single game.
So, the reason why this is just, like, kind of stupid as well is because with these kind of tracking the amount of games you've played have been leaderboards on True Achievements for like since the site launched.
Yeah.
And there's no skill involved in that. Like now the difference in Game Pass is you don't have to purchase the games. Whereas before, like people compete on those leaderboards. How many Xbox games have I played? Which means they're either using whatever GameFly rental services that they used to have all the time to try to, get as many games as possible, or they're just purchasing as many games as possible, which is ridiculous. So that one is a bit stupid. I will say, it does get it's tricky. It's cheeky by Microsoft because it does get people actually downloading games and potentially playing them, and Microsoft can then say, "Oh, we've had X amount of downloads because of this," So it's sneaky to put that in.
And we should say, like, these prizes are pretty crazy. Like, how many categories are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So even in Australia, there's 8 categories, and there's one big prize awarded for each category, which is the Xbox Hall of Fame prize pack. That's a Series X, this trophy, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for 12 months, and their branded hoodie for 8. Like, that's cool, man. I don't know, that's pretty sick.
But that's so. Which category is that?
Well, each category you get that prize.
Oh, okay, each category. All right.
Yeah.
So
and
the
then
thing
you have
is,
all these subsidiary prizes for the next 10, I think, or 20 people.
Yeah,
So in the prize draw.
The thing is, as I mentioned, like I've been part of the team community for a long time.
Yeah.
People already have this stuff worked out. So even the ones that say in the most achievements game score within a 19-day period, people already have that stuff worked out. They know because competitions like this happen every year on True Achievements and other sites. So I already know that being part of this is just a waste of my time because I'm not going to sit there, like I'm not going to take days off work, sit there and play these ridiculous games that are just designed for this kind of thing. So that's why I'm not interested in being part of this. I love being part of other style competitions that happen around this stuff, but they're just for fun. As soon as you suddenly start adding these prizes to it, then I'm not interested.
Again, before I do my spiel to try to get you to sign up to this, because I was reading through the T's and C's. There's one funny part of the T's and C's where it talks about Canadian prize draw winners. So this is what there's like a lucky chance draw part of it for I think 20 people. And by the way, the second prize is on the lucky chance draw. It's so shit. It's like 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It's like, dude, come on. Is that the Canadian prize draw winners? They have to correctly answer a mathematical skill testing question, which is going to be conducted at a mutually agreeable time before being declared the winner.
You know why that is, don't you?
There's some kind of regulatory thing, right?
Yeah. So basically, in Australia, has similar stuff where you got game of chance or game of skill. So they have very different regulations, and that's all it is. It's just it could literally be probably 2 + 2, and it probably meets. Or maybe they've got minimum requirements around that, but that's all that is. Yeah.
I think it's awesome. It's only like
that's super weird.
Yeah, that's really funny, that one. But look, like it's only $100,000 worth of Xboxes that they're, and like from a nominal value, like store value. I mean, I think they're getting their bang for their buck out of this competition because I heard about it and I was like, oh, this is exciting.
The thing I don't like about this, right?
Yeah.
Is I'm all for, as I said, celebrating, but the way Xbox has handled achievements in this entire generation has been so lackluster that this is the only time that I can think of that they've actually done anything for the people that care about it and that community, essentially. And the thing is, no one cares because it's achievements. Who cares? But there's a lot of people where this is a huge hobby for them, and this is the only time Xbox has really done anything of note, honestly, in this whole generation. So,
yeah, no, it's fair. And now I'll just quickly try to convince you. And I know you never listen to anyone, so I'm wasting my breath, but I'll have a crack. I'm not saying enter this competition because you will win any of the main categories. I'm saying on the 1 in, 20,000 chance that you are one of the prize draw winners, I will then be able to introduce you on the podcast for the next 500 episodes as the Hall of Fame, the Xbox Hall of Famer, and they give you a right royal wrestling intro. So just on that off chance that you snag one of the prizes in the lucky chance draw, that is worth it for just signing up. What do you lose from signing up? Sign up now.
I've been the top RPG player in Oceania for like 10 years at this point. I'm content with that. I don't need a stupid title.
No, come on. This is what I love about you and frustrates the hell out of me. That it's this. You just have to sign up. You just have to sign up. You're already probably logged in. If you click the site, you can just go register. I'm sure you don't have to do anything other than that.
When's the cutoff for registration? By the way, do you know?
I don't know. Soon, just do it.
All right.
Well,
I'll give you another chance next week to convince me because you failed this week.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Come with a PowerPoint presentation or something.
Okay, I'll come with something special next week, and then if you don't do it, I'm going to be pissed. Okay.
You got another chance.
All right. We'll see next week. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about the Hall of Fame?
Nah. I'm all good.
All right.
I'll just say, go check it out if you want to have a bit of fun. Just be aware that some of those categories are already kind of decided at this point. So,
yeah. And look, you know, when you're creating something like this, it's kind of hard because you want to reward people that have done work in these categories without actually, you know, tipping them off in a way. But then at the same time, you want people to engage with it. I kind of wish that they broke it down a little bit like True Achievements, where it's like, are you the number one RPG player in the country? You know, all that kind of stuff. Like, that would have been fun. I think that would have been really cool. And then you probably would have actually put your hand in the ring then.
Well, I would have been able to win that one. So, yes, I would have.
But yeah, I think that would have been cool because that's often how people play it anyway. Or like even funny ones like, you know, who spent the most amount of time in Fortnite or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that, all that kind of stuff would have been cool. But, you know, anyway, I still think it's a really cool promotion. It's really, really cool. And next week, I'll come back with something. And if you don't sign up, then I'll get annoyed.
I look forward to it.
Beautiful. And now to my favorite segment,